everyone. Welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight Podcast presented by CVG. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank. Today on the podcast, we are joined by Jessica Fette, Mayor of Erlanger and owner of the Hive East Coast Kitchen and Coffee Bar. She gives us some exciting updates on both the restaurant and the city. On NKY Work, Nancy Spivey is joined by Kendra Anderson and Becca Lenihan of Rudler PSC. They highlight how Rudler is creating a unique culture in the fast-paced and demanding field of accounting. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CVG, our title sponsor, C Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsor, Haran. Our Investing in Equity series is back in August, and this time we are focused on Latinx immigration, Northern Kentucky's fastest growing population. The Northern Kentucky Chamber will explore how employers can meet the needs of Latinx employees and boost the workforce to benefit everyone in the region. You can register for this event, which is happening at Northern Kentucky University on Friday, August 18th at nkychamber.com/events. Now, let's go meet our members of the week, hear from our sponsors, and Nancy and I will be back with your guests.
Why would you travel to England?
For football.
To go or not to go?
That is an easy question.
To visit the land of Shakespeare.
To take in all the sights.
Authentic fish and chips.
To experience arts and culture.
2 words, British Open.
To visit my family.
Same reason I go anywhere. For a pint of beer. To start my trip through Europe.
Whatever your reason, there's no better time than now.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we will highlight one of these businesses each day. Now, let's meet our members of the week. First in Trailer Services proudly serves the trailer, transportation, and service needs of customers throughout Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, and West Virginia. At Work Personnel is a family-owned and operated staffing firm, pairing great candidates with great companies. For more than 30 years, HSD Metrics has provided full-service, outsourced employee survey solutions that help HR leaders increase employee engagement and retention without increasing their administrative burden. ArtsWave is the engine for Greater Cincinnati's arts, fueling one of the most arts-vibrant regions in the country. Reliant Property Management manages residential and commercial properties all across Central Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, and Cincinnati, Ohio. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Today, we are joined by Jessica Fette, who is the mayor of Erlanger and the owner of Hive East Coast Kitchen and Coffee Bar, also in Erlanger. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, well, I'm excited to have you. We've got a lot to talk about. But first, let's talk about Hive. You guys have recently celebrated your 1-year anniversary. Tell us about your business.
Yeah, we have other things to celebrate also. So not only are we the first on our first year, but we also won Best of Northern Kentucky for breakfast and brunch. I'm so excited. I can't even believe it.
Yeah, you guys are popping. When I've walked by in the mornings on the weekends, you guys seem very crowded.
It's kind of hard to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's incredible. Our customer base is very strong, and we just appreciate every single one of them that comes in and sees us every so often. So
yeah. So tell us about the story behind the restaurant. It's really fun.
Yeah. So when we first moved to Kentucky, when I was little, we opened up a pizzeria out in Burlington, Kentucky. It was Vienna Pizza. So I grew up in a restaurant from the time I was 4 years old until we sold it when I was 12. So just watching the hard work, the dedication, the effort that it takes to run a family business, it taught me so much. And I really wanted that for my children. I wanted them to see what it's like to get your hands dirty, see what it's like to, throw on an apron and do every job that's in that restaurant that you possibly can do. So it had always been a goal of ours. My father is an incredible chef. He has dedicated his life to the restaurant industry. And this was just something that I've always wanted to be able to do with him, is build a restaurant with him and build a menu and build something special for our family. So he's right alongside me every step of the way. I have the most incredible husband who's so supportive. He loves that he can get breakfast at any moment of any day.
But breakfast is the best meal of the day.
I know, right? So it's just incredible to watch all of our family come together and then create new family members as our employees, and really have a dedicated staff of individuals that just blow me away every day.
Yeah.
So.
That is so awesome. And it's great where you guys are located, just in the heart of Erlanger, really accessible for a lot of people. And before we started filming, you mentioned that you guys work with a lot of local businesses. So tell us about what people can kind of expect and what you guys do in the restaurant in terms of food.
Yeah, so we specialize in breakfast and lunch. And we have the cafe, the coffee bar upstairs. So the building that we're in is a 2-story brick house. And it was one of the first houses in Erlanger. It's actually a house before Erlanger was a city.
I love that.
Yeah. So we've renovated the inside. It had sat vacant for 8 years. It needed to be brought back to life. It was always one of my favorite buildings. So we brought this building back to life. The first floor is the dining, and then upstairs is the cafe. So the cafe has Carabello Coffee, which is based in Newport. They have an awesome coffee shop and roasting right there in Newport. And then we have a lot of our baked goods come from a company called Pastores, and they are actually out of the incubator kitchen right there at the border of Covington and Newport. So we really do try to source as much locally as possible. And then everything that you eat at the Hive is fresh made, homemade, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, bourbon spike French toast, which is everybody's favorite. And then you have the New Jersey kick, because we're all from New Jersey. So you have to have the Taylor ham pork roll sandwich, which is a fan favorite as well. But then I grew up eating potatoes, sausage, and eggs. And my father would make that regularly for us. So just a big old bowl of scrambled eggs and roasted potatoes and
That sounds
Italian
like
sausage.
my dream breakfast.
Yes, it's delicious. So it's all very home cooked. People have referred to it as comfort food, and I like that. I like to think about giving somebody comfort. We always express love through food in my family. We're very Italian. So to be able to give somebody some joy for an hour of their life.
Great. And I think it's so cool that you are kind of on the forefront of this, kind of new Erlanger. Obviously, as mayor, you are involved behind the scenes in so much going on, but as a business owner, you're also bringing that fun and exciting thing as well. I remember as a young person in my 20s, when I bought a house in Erlanger, all of my friends were like, Erlanger, you didn't want to go to Newport or Covington. I was no, I mean, Erlanger seems great.
It is.
And I love living there. But one of the things that you guys do is the city. You guys have so much going on too. So can you tell us city aspect as mayor, what are you guys getting involved in this summer?
Yeah. So we do have a lot. So I would really ask, if you want a full lineup, check out our social media, go to our website, sign up for our email newsletter, because there's so much I absolutely am going to forget. But for kids, Depot Days on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that is huge up at Train Depot Park. Every week is every day is a different cool thing going on. So if I'm remembering correctly, it starts at 10:30. And then there's lunch served. I mean, fun and lunch for free, why not?
Yeah.
And then one of our biggest celebrations is the summer send-off. And that is going to be September 23rd. And it'll be at Silver Lake Park, and it's sponsored by Arling House, and there's so many other awesome sponsors. But Arling House is our title sponsor, and they've been fantastic with getting this up and running. So summer send-off is huge. We've had quite a few thousand people attend this event. So we've got live music, craft vendors, food vendors, Cincinnati Circus putting on performances, and bounce houses. It's like everything you could possibly want.
Yeah, over there at Silver Lake Park, which was recently redone and beautiful, I might add. It looks so nice.
Yeah.
I love the tennis courts, slept on tennis courts in Northern Kentucky, which is my favorite thing. In addition to the summer kickoff, like city-wise, what are you guys getting into?
So it's now the beginning of the fiscal year, starts July 1, so a whole new budget starts. So that means more road projects, more sidewalk projects, tremendous amount of park improvements that we're looking to do. I don't know if you've driven up and down Stevenson Road, but Cahill Commons, which was formerly known as Rainbow Terrace or Rainbow Park, it'll have the second phase done, which is the brand new playground equipment, which it so desperately needs. There's so many kids in that area, so to be able to provide a safe, beautiful new playground for them is just, it's just the top.
Gotta give the kids something to do. Well, and Erlanger's got so many parks. That was something that I was really shocked at when I moved to the area, because I'm from out in Boone County, where there's just like land everywhere. In a more, condensed urban area, I remember like walking through the neighborhood for the first time, and I was like, there's a park here? There's a park there?
Yeah.
There's a park over there?
Little pocket parks.
I know, I love it.
I know. It is cool. Not a lot of our parks have a lot of parking. So to be able to have these smaller pocket parks that can be, just street parking is really all that's available. So you do have to keep them kind of small. But it provides more of an intimate setting for your neighborhood. And who doesn't want to park right in the middle of their neighborhood?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's some people.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the tennis courts, the basketball hoops, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And our beautiful new bathroom with the shelter.
Oh my gosh. The bathroom is very nice. I was very impressed. I was kind of sad, like that brief period where there was no bathroom. I was like, I gotta go all the way home.
I know. I know, but it's so beautiful now. We're really trying to be intentional with what we put in the parks, and if we have consistency, not only in our branding, but what amenities are there. So having electric, having water, having some type of bigger sidewalk that can accommodate a walking path, lots of trees. We just became a Tree City USA this year. So, a dedication to future generations and setting them up for success and investing in our infrastructure. It's just critical. We've got to do it.
Yeah. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I really appreciated your time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Hi, I'm Nancy Spivey, Vice President of Talent Strategies for the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. On today's NKY at Work segment, we are joined by the folks from Rudler, PSC. So I've got Kendra Anderson and Becca Lenihan with me today. And we're talking about your work culture. And I know we talked a little bit before we started the program, and I understand you guys have been there a little while and you've got a unique culture that stands out. Tell me a little bit more. I don't know who wants to start.
I'll start. I think about 10 to 15 years ago, we made a conscious effort that we decided we wanted to create a culture that really stood out in a place where people wanted to come to work, but not just come, but and stay. It's a competitive world in the accounting field with the big four. And so we needed to create a niche for ourselves to make us someplace people wanted to come and work.
So tell me what you actually did to do that.
Yes. So biggest for in the accounting world, I think, is we preach that during tax season, we don't overwork our staff. A lot of firms By the end of tax season, they're working 80 hours a week. That's not us. That's not who we are. So we try to create the work-life balance and the flexibility to really give people the option and the opportunity to have a family life and have a work life. You're going to be much more productive at work if you are happy at home too.
And I understand you're in HR and you're in accounting. So
Yes.
from an accountant's perspective, give me the idea of what it means to you to work at Rudler.
Yes, our flexibility, I feel like I'm the walking image of it, because I started at the firm as an intern about 6 years ago. And the day I was, an actual accountant from being an intern, I was a fresh mom. And so the whole world was like really scary to me, like being a full-time professional and having that newborn at home. So I went to Alex and I was like, I'm kind of struggling. Alex is our president at the firm. So I went to Alex and I was like, this is all very new to me. I'm struggling a little bit. Like, what do you think I should do? And he said, if you want to do part-time, you can do part-time, like literally anything you want to do for y'all, like for us. So I ended up going part-time for the first year that my daughter was born. And that was also the time of COVID, like that whole thing happened.
A little stressful time for all of us, right?
So then our whole world like shift to this remote aspect. And before that, Rudler's my first professional career, so I had no idea about remote working or anything like that. So we all transitioned to the remote work, and I figured out that was the best suited situation for me. So on my breaks, I could go and see my little baby, and then I also had connections at work, so I wasn't just like you get your mom fog, you're just a mom. So I had my work going on too, and then after a year I signed on like full time, but I was still remote, and I am still remote to this day, and I just had my second baby.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yes, so I am like the utmost grateful for Rudler and all their flexibility that they've offered me. And with this last baby I just had, breastfeeding actually worked out for me. So we have this breastfeeding policy that is awesome. You get 20 minutes every time you either pump or breastfeed, and there's not really like a limit to that. So my kid likes to eat a lot, so I don't feel all these outside pressures of I feel like with the breastfeeding thing and the whole mom world, that's such a huge thing. And Rudler just tries their best to cater to everyone. And we actually started this women's initiative committee recently. Mm-hmm. And part of that, we are building like a breastfeeding room and office for those people, since we are expanding so much. But that's kind of it. Like, I just love Rudler. I love all their flexibility.
And it shows.
Yes.
I mean, you can tell that you're a big fan.
Yes.
And that's somewhat rare in our work culture these days to have somebody cheerleading on your behalf. So congratulations on the accomplishment. And I know you're in HR, so from your vantage point, tell me about your growth, what it's done, what the culture shift looks like.
Yeah, so the culture shift, it's a lot of what works for you works for us. So if working from home is what works for you, great. If you're getting your work done, that works for us. If you want to come into the office and that's what works for you, that works for us. We try to be really flexible and to kind of promote that. I've stopped trying to use the buzzwords that we hear so often. And what I've started doing is doing open houses and things where I bring people into the office and I let people like Kendra just give her experience and say
she's doing a good job selling it.
So that they can hear it how it actually is versus from a recruiter in that aspect.
Sure. So where is Rudler located?
We are in Fort Wright, Kentucky. We are right on Dixie Highway, across the street from St. Agnes.
Okay, and you have about 70, am I right? 70 people today, and you're looking to expand even further. So
yes,
give me an idea. How do people apply? What recruiting sources do you use?
Yes, so you can go to our website, www.rudler.cpa, And there is a careers page on there. We are always looking for good people for every department. So there are job listings on there. Then you can also, with our LinkedIn, you can go there, and there are job postings on all the major job boards as well.
Okay, that's great. Now tell me about, I understand you have a mentor-mentee program. Is that for new people when they come in?
So we actually have two different programs that kind of work hand in hand. We have a buddy program. So anybody that is newer to the firm, if you're a year or less, you are assigned a buddy. That buddy will help you with more culture kind of things. Things like, what should I wear to the holiday party? Like that kind of stuff.
Sure.
You can be that first line of defense in answering questions.
Sure.
And then every staff member gets a mentor. So the mentors, we have agreements that they both fill out, how often they're going to meet, set up the expectations, and they are there to guide you with whatever it is whether it's you want to advance a little farther in an aspect of your career, if you are struggling with your work-life balance, whatever it is, they are there to help you through that.
Great. And I think about a traditional accounting firm, and to me, and again, I'm a creative, so I kind of see it as kind of a dry environment.
Not us.
You don't think you're there, right?
No.
Give me a few examples of that.
So we have an engagement committee. It used to be called the Fun Committee, but we have renamed it the Engagement Committee. And we do a lot of different things. We do virtual bingo in busy season. So because we do have so many remote staff and out-of-state staff. We have staff in Texas and in Florida.
Okay.
So just to kind of keep everybody, feeling connected, we do the virtual bingo. This weekend we are attending the Florence Y'alls game for our family picnic. We do a lot of like showers and celebrations, so baby showers. And in a few weeks we are having a wedding shower. We actually have 3 of our male staff who are engaged and getting married like 3 months in a row.
Oh, wow.
So we're hosting one larger shower at Braxton in Covington.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Sounds like a great place to work.
I think so.
I think you'll be there another 6 or 7.
I don't plan on leaving anytime soon or ever.
She's a fan. That's great. Keep her around. That's great. Thanks for coming in. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yes, I would like to add that if anybody is interested in coming to work for Rudler, we have started an annual open house where we bring prospective staff in to come and again hear from our staff their experiences at Rudler. And we have started planning for our next open house. So we are looking at the end of August, early September for that.
So that event will be promoted online?
Yes, it will be on all of our social media platforms and website.
End of August, 1st of September.
Yes.
We'll look for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schumacher, Account Executive, Kentucky Market Leader. At Haran, we champion bold innovation to help employers and individuals thrive. As an industry thought leader, we explore new horizons in healthcare, benefits, employee engagement, and wellness. We work harder to deliver all the strategic benefits, planning, and execution you expect from a true partner. And we do it with laser focus on your short and long-term outcomes to help manage your benefits while improving your employee experience.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast to hear a little bit about the Hive East Coast Kitchen and Coffee Bar in the City of Erlanger from the mayor, Jessica Fette, as well as a little bit more about Rudler PSC from Kendra and Becca. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CBG, Secret Consulting, and Haran. Don't forget to register for our Investing in Equity series on Latinx immigration happening on August 18th at nkychamber.com/events. Finally, if you are a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, or if you're someone who is interested in becoming a member of the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, you can reach out to Lynn Ablin. And if you're someone who is interested in sharing your workforce strategies and resources on NKY at Work, please reach out to Nancy Spivey. You can find their contact information on the screen in front of you or our staff directory at nkychamber.com. Thanks once again for tuning in. I'll talk to you all next week.